Hello, world. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Monday, August 10th, 2026. What you were just listening to is Izuno Zami Bus, coming to you in the Swahili language, being played on platforms currently. Thought I'd start with that. Sometimes you have to ask. Sideshow is coming to you from the East Coast of the United States, Lexington, Kentucky. And we'll start out with the weather in this area. The last couple of days over the weekend, it's been warm to say the least with the heat index. Today, the weather, the high will be 89 degrees. Currently, it is 74. Thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s and lows in the low 70s. Thunderstorms possible after 2 p.m. Severe storms likely on Tuesday. Lightning strikes near water tower. Grass pollen decreasing tomorrow, and almost the same as yesterday, down by 2 degrees. Conditions for outdoor activities currently, good for running, good for cycling, and good weather for gardening. The AQI is good at 48. In regards to pollen, tree pollen is none, grass is moderate, and ragweed is none. The UV index is low right now, and it feels muggy with a light breeze at 7 miles per hour. Today, sunrise was at 6:48 a.m. in this area, and sunset will be at 8:37 p.m., dropped away from that 9 p.m. daylight time. And currently, it is 7:52 a.m. on the East Coast. I wanted to issue a correction from Friday's program. I kind of got into myself being excited about the first football game of the season. It was the Hall of Fame football game. I think I said something other than North Carolina, but actually it was North Carolina versus Arizona Cardinals. So North Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals, and that was Friday's game. And the winner of that game was North Carolina. In regards to the Hall of Fame and the inductees, which took place on Saturday, they are as follows. The Pro Football Hall of Fame inducted 5 new members on Saturday, August 8, 2026 in Canton, Ohio. The class of 2026 features quarterback Drew Brees, wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, linebacker Luke Ketchley, kicker Adam Vinatieri, and running back Roger Craig. So kudos to them in their being the new inductees in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I just wanted to get that little correction out there and put all that into perspective. So today, the items that I wanted to bring to you, let's start with the question. How many still believe in the institution of marriage? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I do have some other items. As we all agree, the face of the world is changing now. And that's due to what's going on in the world. So we'll start with this one. Coming to you from The Conversation is dated August 9th. The world has changed. African countries must rethink how they grow their economies. The article in part is as follows. The prolonged disruption of shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has exposed how vulnerable Africa's economies are to geopolitical shocks. Fuel prices have remained elevated, squeezing economies that depend heavily on petroleum imports from the Middle East. These include Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique, South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. This vulnerability also puts at risk the continent's push to escape poverty through what economists call structural transformation, moving workers from low productivity activities such as sustenance farming into more productive jobs in manufacturing and modern services. The continent never fully participated in the export manufacturing wave that transformed East Asia from the 1960s onward. And now Africa's industrialization ambitions have become even more difficult to realize as geopolitical rivalry, fragmented supply chains, and artificial intelligence reshape the global economy. So, that being said, moving over to Nigeria, Dangote meets American giant Goldman Sachs as Africa's richest billionaire moves to hit the $100 billion revenue. Goldman Sachs, one of America's most powerful and influential investment banks, has shown significant support for Aliko Dangote, Africa's wealthiest individual, by sending a high-level delegation to visit his massive industrial projects in Lagos, Nigeria, which is the west coast of Africa. Over my shoulder. Goldman Sachs sent a high-level delegation led by Anthony Goodman to visit Aliko Dangote's industrial projects in Lagos. The delegation toured the Dangote petroleum refinery and was impressed by the project's scale, quality, and ambition. Dangote revealed that internal analysis supports the group's goal of reaching US $100 billion in annual revenue by 2030. The Dangote Group plans further expansion through new investments and acquisitions. And right in tune with that, the African project that could change a continent. Africa's richest man, business leader Aliko Dangote, has told the BBC about his plans to build a new oil refinery in Kenya. That's the east coast of Africa, which he says will have a massive impact and help African countries become more energy self-sufficient. The new plant will serve much of East Africa, and Mr. Dangote said that work on the site is due to begin by October and should take less than 4 years. So this was an exclusive interview with Nancy Kasagira near the site of its Lagos refinery in Nigeria. So this is dated 4 days ago. So I'd ask the question, just to kind of put things in perspective, take us away from our country a little bit and look at things around the world. When I opened the show and when I started talking about how many still believe in the Institute of Marriage. This article, dated the 9th, yesterday, is entitled, Nigeria Marries 1,500 Couples in Mass Wedding. So, the government describes the program as a way to support low-income families and promote social stability. Among those married were people who lost family members in violent attacks. So, I don't know how well you can see this, but that's kind of like a picture of it. So, the article goes like this. Some 1,500 couples got married at a mass wedding organized by Abba Kabir Yusuf, the governor of Kano State in northern Nigeria, again, West Coast. The regional government described the 2-day event as a way to support low-income families and promote social stability. The whole idea for the marriage is to help our families and we husbands who are not financially stable to marry. That's why the government is helping us get married, Groom Abubakar Aru Musa told the Associated Press. This is the second time Yusuf's administration has organized a mass wedding. What else do we know about the program in Kano State? According to Kano's regional government, each bride received a dowry of 200,000 naira, $147 US and 127 pounds, and support to set up a small business. The couples were also given household items, including beds, mattresses, and blankets. The couples underwent screening and counseling before the wedding. Governor Yusuf described the program as a bold social innovation aimed at restoring hope and supporting dignified family life in Kano. The program was designed not only to assist women who might otherwise struggle to afford marriage, but also to strengthen families and promote social stability in the state. And it goes on to give a few personal experiences of those who had lost loved ones or spouses in violent attacks. So I just thought I would share that with you. And congratulations to all those in Nigeria who participated in that mass wedding. How many of you like art? Well, back in this country, dated August 8th, here's some news from the art world. Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats cap Giants exhibition with final flourish at MCASD party. Interesting side note, Swiss Beats name comes from when he was a youth, and had a special liking for K-Swiss shoes, so it kind of followed him along. And The two brothers that started Rough Riders, he is their nephew. So that's a little side point. But getting into this one, amid Friday night's closing celebration party in honor of Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego record-breaking art exhibition, two of the guests were brought to tears by the works of Michaelan Thomas. So this included the works that we are familiar with. The exhibition, featuring massive works by Black American and diasporic artists like Thomas, were on display thanks to a loan from the Dean Collection. You never know what kind of interest people have. The personal collection of the La Jolla's residents and married music icons Swiss Beats, aka Cassim Dean, and Alicia Keys. The Tyler Dean couple joined hundreds of guests dancing, viewing art, and celebrating the closing weekend of Giants art from the Dean Collection of Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. House DJ Joe K shared footage of the couple dancing with guests during his set on the museum patio. The event was the exclamation point on MCASD's Superlative Summer. Giants drew in big crowds since its debut in April. In all, over 29,000 people visited the museum, according to San Diego Union Tribune, over the course of the exhibition, the highest amount since the museum reopened after a renovation in 2022. The exhibition drew under 2,000 people a week, doubling the museum's typical attendance, the UT reported. And thanks to the gift shop with Giants merchandise, as well as a surge in membership sales, the museum tripled its revenue for the period to an average of $19,579 per week. The celebrity catch of the Deans certainly contributed to those numbers, as well as the chance to see works from artists like Basquiat and Thomas, as well as Kehinde Wiley, Gordon Parks, you might remember him from Ebony and Jet magazine, Esther Malingua, Kwame Brathwaite, and Derek Adams, who aren't normally seen in San Diego. In total, the exhibit included over 130 works by 37 Black artists. The touring exhibit originated in New York and made its West Coast debut in San Diego. Museum admission is free on Sunday, Giants' final day in San Diego, and on the West Coast. Its next showing will be at the Indianapolis Museum of Art from September 2026 to February 2027. So, thought I would just recognize Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats on that one. The idea of giving back. For this one, we're going to move over to Stephen Curry and Ayesha Curry mark a major $100 million milestone as their foundation continues changing lives. This is August 9th as well. Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors star player, and his wife Ayesha Curry have always been philanthropic and have always shown how they have actively contributed towards the betterment of the society in their hometown, Oakland. Ahead of the new season, their foundation, Eat, Learn, Play, has marked a $100 million milestone. A few days ago, Stephen Curry and Ayesha Curry's foundation, Eat, Learn, Play, went public about how they have invested over a whopping $100 million to make lives better for children and underprivileged families in Oakland since the last 7 years. The update reads, "We believe every kid deserves more and should be given the opportunity and support to reach their full potential. That's what Eat, Learn, Play was built on. And 7 years later, we've seen the impact come to life. Over the next month, we're looking back at what that's meant." The heartwarming update added, it's more than the numbers. 35 million meals distributed, 7,500 students tutored, 24 schoolyards transformed, and $100 million invested. There's also growing confidence, blossoming curiosity, sharper focus, and kids who feel like they belong on the field, in the classroom, and everywhere in between. The post continued, 100 million sounds like a finish line. We're just getting started because all kids deserve the chance to live a happy, healthy childhood. So that's from Stephen and Aisha Curry. And still giving kids the opportunity, or children the opportunity. Again, dated August 8th, Nike Kobe 10 Pro Mamba Invitational PE revealed. The Nike Mamba Invitational returns to Los Angeles on August 8th and 9th over the weekend, bringing together some of the top youth and high school boys and girls basketball players for the annual 2-day event. Held at Peacock Place at LA Live, the showcase celebrates Kobe Bryant's legacy through competition, special exhibits, and exclusive gear made specifically for those taking part. Players competing at this year's event received their own Nike Kobe 10 Pro Mamba Invitational, PE, a colorway inspired by the sunset scene during the summer basketball in Los Angeles. The shoe moves from golden yellow around the tongue and collar into bright orange and crimson across the upper and sole. Black swooshes provide most of the contrast, while Kobe's Chief logo appears on the tongues and right heel. Small 2026 and MM tags set alongside the swooshes with the Old English style LA graphic appearing on the left heel. Mamba Invitational branding is also printed across the insoles, while Air Zoom cushioning finishes off the performance setup. The Nike Kobe 10 Pro Mamba Invitational PE was made exclusively for participants in the 2026 Mamba Invitational and will not be released to the public. So, here we go, folks. So I think that's a good looking shoe. And as I say, hats off to the Mamba Invitational. So now that I've, as they say, talked about everybody else, this is not something that I usually do, but today I'm going to go ahead and do this. I have been working on a book, and since I talk about the martial arts so much, it is about the martial arts. And the title of it, My Thoughts on the Martial Arts After 40 Years. I was able to find a publisher in April of this year, Greenwood Publishing. And even as I say this, I, as they say, hope that there's no, I have so far, I have not found any book publishers that have been caught scamming people, so I'll just leave it at that. With that part of it, I was looking for the book cover itself. So anyway, I signed for the book to be published in April of this year. And this is what the cover should look like. My thoughts on the martial arts after 40 years, Theodore Parker. We do have here in Lexington, Joseph Beth, although there's only 3 of those in the country. And we happen to have one here in Lexington. There are other book outlets. So I'm just kind of like depending on the public to pick up on it if they have not seen it already. And, procure a copy, see what I have to say. I cover everything from karate to kung fu to tai chi. And I just thought I would put that out there again. My thoughts on the martial arts after 40 years by Theodore Parker. That's what the cover should look like according to everything that the publisher's telling me. And thank you for your support, listening to me do all this, talking about the martial arts, but that is kind of like my motivation. And moving over again, it's been like 3 years. I'm also into music. I guess if I was an actor, I'd say write, produce, direct, and star in your own movie picture, own film. But it's been 3 years since I published my last album, and it's on the platform bandlab.com. So I just released album number 7 over the weekend. So it is more in a jazz category than rap or hip hop or rhythm or blues, just so you kind of know what to expect. Smooth jazz. And it's, you can just bring up the app, put my name in there, Theodore Parker. Sophisticated 7 is the title of the album, and give it a listen. And that's how that goes. So that's my book. That's my music. I'm Theodore Parker. This is a sideshow. Before I conclude, this is something that everybody's been dancing to. Let Me Be. I get it straight here. And everybody's dancing from Japan to Arabia. See if I can get pulled. Excuse me, have to get past the commercial, folks. Then we can get into the music. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. Today is Monday, August 10, 2026. That's it. Hashtag.
Right there.